Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to our CSGO News episode. A brand new format, brand new layout. I hope you guys all enjoy. And again, the next few days, please give me a little leeway. We're going to try and figure things out. A brand new office, studio, audio, camera. It's a lot to figure out. So hope you guys all enjoy over the next few days. I'm going to try and figure this out. The overall goal is to, of course, make a better show for all of you. So thank you all for coming back. Welcome to CSGO News. As always, all the today's stories will be timestamped down below. The first of which is absolutely gigantic. Announced the day before, ironically, the day before April Fool's. So we know it's legit, that being the departure of Kioshima from the Cloud9 roster, and also confirmed on Sean Gare's very own stream, it was actually Valens who said and clarified it was not just the fact that Kioshima wanted to maybe go back to Europe, which actually made this move happen, which is probably not what you wanted to hear if you're a Kioshima fan.
And then you die.
Kyo wanted to go back to Europe, right?
Not exactly.
Rippers.
And that does mean going forward, I've talked way too much about the roster. You guys know the details as well. You have your core two in Rush and Automatic. Automatic, the most consistent player probably by a long shot on the team. Rush, the exact opposite of that. You have Golden now returning to the roster from a health issue. We don't really know the future of that, but definitely has not played around these guys frequently enough on this roster. So pretty much you could borderline say a borderline brand new IGL. Then you have Vice coming from Rogue, and officially Cajunb for Miami Blast Pro. This will be the roster for Cloud9. And if you would have ever told me you would have Rush and Automatic continue to be your core players, you have Golden finally back in, formerly a Fnatic in that short era as well. You have a Rogue player in Vice, and now an Optic player in Cajunb. The most random assortment of players I have seen in a little bit, especially on a top tier organization. If you at any point in 2017, 2018 would have said this would be a Cloud9 roster, I would have called you crazy and stupid. And going forward, this roster might be crazy and stupid. We're going to see how they play together because it's a giant mystery ball how they will mesh together. It does seem pretty much confirmed that will be the roster going forward. And with that being said, Cloud9's major spot is now gone. Kioshima, Zelsis, and Flusha do have those major spots. We will see what happens with that spot if those three players do not join up and take it. And therefore, we'll be back in the minor for North America for our next major. It's going to be pretty crazy news out there. Speaking of crazy, also announced actually today on April Fool's. And again, I'm not going to fool you guys. I'm not going to trick and joke around with you as well. It will be a brand new Vega Squadron roster, which once again, it's skeptical looking so far. It's actually Hudgy or Hooji. I always call him Hoochie. It's a weird name out there. Alongside Tony, they were actually benched. At least Tony was quite some time ago. Two brand new players, one being Scooby, the other one being a well-known name from the CIS scene, but not for quite some time. That being Seized is now back in the roster. And this roster, to me, I don't follow Vega too closely because we see them probably twice a year. They usually win a LAN event, which is kind of ironic, kind of a coincidence. Every single year they win some sort of semi-premier event, and they also usually make a pretty deep run at the major or a surprising run at the major. Not so much at Katowice, which likely led to these changes being made. What I think of these, again, I don't follow these players too closely, so not too sure about it, but plenty of you guys are really not hyped up on the whole Seized movement, right? You look at his time with Flipside Tactics, he was on loan or /trial there. Then you look at Gambit as well. He was on Gambit's inactive roster for twice as long as he was on their active roster. And then I think it was Runtime GG. They eventually got signed as well. They were formerly Under Pressure. They made a minor qualifier run as well themselves. Besides that, really not on a notable team ever since 2017 with Navi. I'm not expecting too much from the team itself, but again, we only see them twice a year. It doesn't really matter too much. And speaking of Seized, one of his former teams, that of course being Navi back in 2017 days, the 2019 Navi continues though to be like the 2018 Navi, that continuing to have team issues. It's actually Navi themselves, Flamey coming forward and saying, hey, we're having team issues, and everyone out there saying, hey, no way. You don't say that, right? There's no need to April Fools it here, guys. Everyone knew about this. There's no joke here. And we've seen internal issues on this Navi roster for quite some time, which is what led a lot of us out there to think they're going to be making changes. They have still yet to make those changes. I mean, for instance, guys, right? We've seen many internal struggles themselves, many clips out there arising. If you look back, I've had this clip in my bank for quite some time now. It was actually Flamey who had knifed Simple, but during this argument, it's Simple arguing with Edward live on stream as well during a pretty big event. So if you guys remember that clip, it was pretty funny to see.
With her, apart from saving the rifle previously, same story, but actually died in the end as well. So Glock, oh, they're stabbing each other as well.
He did not expect him to be there. Simple's even just stopped. Oh, look, they're staring at each other.
They're going mad.
Oh, man. He's pissed about that.
Edward's like, I'm so sorry, boss. please.
Please don't knife me in real life after the game.
Oh my
I'm
God.
so sorry.
What?
And then you had right before the major, whether it was a troll or not, Zeus came forward publicly and said, hey, I don't really want to make you guys better players anymore. I have no desire to play, and I will be retiring sometime in 2019. So for them to come out and say this, it does not really stir any controversy, right? No, nothing surprising here as well. We all knew that Navi is still a very heavy-hitting team. When this team is actually meshing, when they're actually seemingly pretty happy, they do pretty well together. There was no shock out there when they actually came forward and said, hey, by the way, sometimes we don't like each other. So one day when they figure it out, hopefully we'll see a brand new Navi. I thought a very interesting point to make out there, though. They are at least admitting, hey, we have some pretty big issues. And also, very last in this April Fool's episode, I did make it kind of short. I really do apologize, guys. I'm still moving into a brand new office, trying to figure out the format, the layout of everything. So if you guys want to leave any tips or comments down below, I think we're going to try and address obviously some background. We want to have pictures, want to have some stuff here in the studio. Please leave your comments down below. I greatly appreciate your guys' feedback. And very lastly, on that note, April Fool's being, I saw 2 tweets. The first of which to actually make one was MIBR so far, poor showings all around for this roster. Thus far, we've seen kind of not living up to the potential on paper, at least. It will be Fur tweeting out that he is now done with the roster. So I was like, okay, well, let him rein in. Then it was the one thing that really pushed me over the limit. I've seen plenty so far. I actually saw 3. The other one being the Ents onesie. That was a huge troll because I went to the Ents shop. I literally was going to buy one, and to find out it's a troll. And then very lastly, pushing me over the edge while I'm going to stay off Twitter the rest of the day, or at least avoid all these trolls out there. Micah Laley had the nerve to post an NIP tweet. Really? It's like you're taking a dig at yourself at this point, and it really does make me angry because you want it to be true, but it's definitely not true. So I'm done with Twitter for the day. Hopefully you guys are as well. And again, please do me a favor, leave a comment down below. What can we do here in the studio? Did everything sound okay? What needs to be fixed? I greatly, as always, appreciate your guys' feedback as I try and settle in because it's a brand new environment. I'm a little nervous, and we'll see how it works out. But as always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy. Until next time, tomorrow, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, guys, with some more CSGO news and hopefully a very full episode. Until next time, take care. I'll see you guys then.